Hi everyone, so I'm going to do Wellness Wednesday and creating and sustaining a healthy lifestyle. I have already done this, so I'm not sure if you might have watched it, and then I'm doing another version, but it didn't save, so I need to do it again, so sorry about that. So I'm focusing on building and sustaining a healthy lifestyle. So for me, what's really important is that whatever that lifestyle looks like, it's got to match with you, your vision, your principles, and your family, and what's going to work for you from a longevity point of view. So firstly, why change your lifestyle? So firstly, you need to look at why do you want to change your lifestyle? There's obviously something that you're not happy about, or there's something that you want to adapt or change because there's something that's missing or something that you want to enhance, or whatever it is, you're not happy and content with where you are. So why do you want to change that lifestyle? That lifestyle could be anything, by the way. It doesn't have to be linked to healthy eating or changing your body shape or anything like that. It could be changing your career, creating a new fitness plan, achieving something that's on your bucket list. Whatever that is, creating a lifestyle that's going to enable you to be able to achieve that. So what's your reasons for doing it? Try and kind of sit down, write down what you are, why you're doing it, kind of what's your reasons behind that. I think sometimes you're going to get to a stage, especially when you create a lifestyle that you want to sustain for a long period of time, you need to have a really strong reason why you're making that change in the first place. Because if you don't have a strong reason, it's really easy to kind of stop doing it or lose motivation and then forget why you started in the first place. Or you're going to have bumps in the road where progress isn't going to happen and you're going to feel frustrated. Having that reason why and knowing your goals in the long run is going to have that kind of rebounce back that's going to give you that motivation to keep going. So what I would recommend is that you write down what you want your lifestyle to look like, no matter what that is. Just write it down, jot a note down of what you want to almost move away from and what you want to achieve in the future, whether that's big goals and long-term goals or short goals as well. So it's good to have both, because then you can get achievable ones sooner rather than later, and bigger ones are part of the lifestyle change and sustainability. So why do you want that change? Envisage it. Think in your mind, what does that look like for you? What can you see it looking like in the future in your mind's eye? So because when you envisage it, you can keep going back to it. Write it down so you can keep seeing it somewhere. You might want to put it up in the fridge or put it in a book somewhere so you can revisit it ever so often. Write it down and remember your reason why you are looking to make that change. So a lifestyle change, like I mentioned, needs to fit in within your principles, your vision and your family. I think sometimes we spend we spend a lot of time and money, to be honest, trying to find something that's going to work, but without looking at it from a holistic point of view. How is it going to fit in with the family? Is this something that I want to be able to sustain for a long time? Does it fit in within the things that I want to do as part of my lifestyle change and with those around me? So be mindful of that and make sure. Sometimes it's good to just think about it all before you start rushing into doing something new or creating a new plan or doing something that's restricted that's going to only give you a short-term fix. So really focus on that and write down how you want your lifestyle to be and what you want it to look like for yourself. One of the things that I say a lot to my clients is a lifestyle change. Look at it as a marathon, it's not a sprint. So if you're trying to look something for a quick fix, it's not going to be a lifestyle change. And if you don't have that lifestyle change, you're going to have this continuous cycle of focus. You then achieve a goal, you then kind of fall off, you then lose all of that structure and routine, and then you start again and you either do something different or you find something different or you go back to what you was doing. Whereas if you can find something that's a lifestyle change and it just keeps you consistent and sustained for a long period of time, you then won't have this perpetual cycle of achievement, disappointment, frustration, motivation. So you kind of go round in a circle consistently. If you're just trying to find a quick fix and a short-term goal, you need to have something that's going to create longevity, sustainability, and ensure that you do it consistently across the period of time or for your life, really. Because I think so many of us spend so much time, especially with all of the stuff that's around us in the news and stuff, it can get really confusing and overwhelming of what a lifestyle change is or how does it look like or what should it look like for me. And that's what you need to spend a bit of time to think about, and then you can implement it, and it's going to be fitting into your lifestyle. It's going to be fitting into this change that you want to achieve, but without that really kind of high pressured anxiety of doing something short, sharp, focused. You want to find something that's going to make you feel good. You're gonna be able to achieve it because it's gonna have you're gonna feel progress along the way, and also it's just gonna be part of your life. So you don't start to see it as it's another thing added onto the list to do. It's not another thing that you need to add into the diary that you didn't want to add in. It needs to be something that's just part of that life for you now. So when you start to map it out and start to look at it, you're then able to really kind of figure out how's it going to work, what's the best way of doing it, and then you will see progress as you go along, and your why will be strong enough to keep pushing you forward. So make sure when you're going into something that's going to be a lifestyle change or something that you want to achieve, and you're going to have to put a lot of time into it, make sure it's going to be something that's going to fit in with you and what you're willing to commit to as well. Obviously, I've mentioned already about keeping consistent. The more you can keep consistent, it means it's just going to be part of your life and you don't have to think about it. With myself, as you know, obviously I do Herbalife, and I've been doing it for over 3 years now. But what that means is that I'm eating just better, high quality food, especially focusing on a high protein diet, all of the different food groups, and using the Herbalife products to plug the gap of the supplements that I'm unable to achieve through Whole Foods, and managing my intake of all vitamins and minerals that I need, enhancing my energy. And it's just convenient as well, so it fits in within my lifestyle. I wouldn't have been able to do it consistently for 3 years if it wasn't something that created a lifestyle change for me. It would be a classic 30-day challenge. I'm on it for a little while, bit of time, go on holiday, come back, fall off the wagon. That perpetual cycle that I was talking about. I created something, and I learned about the products. I learned about how to eat properly. I learned more about what the foods and nutrients that I need in my body. And now I'm just mindful all the time. I use the products as part of my kind of day-to-day structure, because I know what my body needs and why this is suitable for me. But also it's just become part of I don't have to think about it really anymore. I just know what's good and what's bad for me. I don't overthink how I feel about myself in regards to my body and my confidence and all the rest of it. It's all just part of me now. Sometimes I do, but I very rarely self-sabotage myself, because I know I'm in control of how I achieve things or what my goals are and what I need to achieve. But before I started, whether it was even before Herbalife and meeting all the people that I've met along the way, I would always feel like unconfident. I'd lack kind of self-esteem. I would feel horrible in clothes. I'd overthink everything. Whereas now, don't get me wrong, it's not Herbalife that's done that. It's the routine and the structure, and it's the fuel that I've been putting in my body, which is enhanced with Herbalife. So it's having that structure, it's creating that lifestyle, it's being mindful and learning and educating, and then keeping that consistency. And I know my reasons why I want to do it, because I want to stay healthy, I want to have energy, I want to achieve great things, and I have a vision of how far I want to go, not just with my own kind of personal side of things, but also from my business side as well. So it's really important to find something that's going to fit in your lifestyle, and it's not going to fulfill that perpetual cycle of finding something focused, motivate for a short period of time, achieve the goal, fall off, then go back to square one. You need to find something that's going to keep you consistent, longevity, and keep you healthy as well. So some of the things that I kind of recommend about in regards to hurdles and things that are going to come across on the way, it's going to be hard to stay focused. It's going to be really hard, because we all have it. We have bumps in the roads. We can't really be asked sometimes. Sometimes our motivation gets low. There's other stresses that have impact on our lives and things like that stop us from moving forward sometimes. So just be mindful of those hurdles coming along. Remember why you've done it in the first place, and just don't beat yourself up if some things don't always go to plan. I think sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to create a lifestyle change with so much pressure that then it becomes too much, and it becomes something that's, and like I was saying, another add-on, another thing to do, another thing that you've got to think about, I've got enough chores on my list to do, and now this is another one. What you should be able to do is create a momentum where it just fits in and it's part of your lifestyle. It's not something that is an inconvenience, because if it's an inconvenience and you don't enjoy it, then it's almost pointless doing it in the first place. And you have to be happy in life. Don't ever do something and then feel like you're unhappy or you're not motivated and things like that, because that's gonna just make you stop doing it. Or you might feel you're restricted for a short period of time because you know there's a short-term goal, but then it's just not going to give you that consistency in your lifestyle. complete restriction isn't good, so I've mentioned that already. Keep going and never give up. I think sometimes we get to a stage where we just think, oh, what's the point? But you've already come so far, so just keep going with it. Just keep saying to yourself, I'm not going to give up. I know I've just had a bump in the road and I'm just going to keep going. Don't make excuses. We spend a lot of time giving ourselves excuses and telling ourselves why we can't do something, or why it's not suitable for us, or why we can't do it, or it's all of the peripherals outside that stop us from doing stuff. But actually, it's our minds that gives us excuses, which allows us to feel acceptable that we've not done something. So just kind of own it if you haven't done it. Don't beat yourself up about it, and just move on. And you know what you need to do. You don't need kind of excuses to make that happen. You know what you need to do, and if you haven't done it, it's just one of those things. And just remember, again, back to the beginning, why are you doing it in the first place? Because that's going to be the thing that's going to keep you going, and it needs to be a strong reason why. It's just be mindful and remember that it's always mind over matter. So your mind will be playing tricks on you throughout this time. It's going to be kind of telling you things. It's going to be telling you to stop. It's going to tell you you're not good enough, and you just need to remember that it's mind over matter. So the problem is just keep reinforcing positive messages into your brain. Keep telling yourself that you can do this. Get yourself around motivating people that are going to keep pushing you forward, because that's going to be an absolute game changer to your success. And just keep kind of funneling positive stuff into your ears. If you listen to music, have like music that makes you happy. If you're listening to podcasts, listen to like positive and forward thinking and linked to what makes you happy moving forward. So listen to those podcasts, or audio books, or meditate and listen to kind of meditation music. All of that stuff's going to help your brain either relax, feel positive, and it's going to have good messages going in. Whereas if you are watching the news or scrolling through social media looking at stuff that's going to slag off this next celebrity or moan about somebody else in the news, that's all just going to give you negative vibes and negative things into your brain, which then enables you to dwell on the negative stuff. So try and keep as positive as you possibly can. Always try and put things in perspective. If something doesn't go right just straight away, does it really matter? You can keep going. There's so much going on at the moment, as we know, with all of the different things out in the real world and stuff, that we can become anxious, and we can start to put like the weight of the world starts to come on our shoulders a little bit. So just put things in perspective and just kind of look at your little lot. How are you getting on? Is there stuff that you could do to make a change? If you can't control some of this stuff, you can't hold it into your brain, and you can't hold it on your shoulders, because if you cannot control it, there's no point in worrying about it. There's no point in building up scenarios in your brain that's going to enable you to feel like something isn't working, or you're just going to keep telling yourself all of this negative stuff because you can't control it. So there's no point in holding on to it, because you just can't make that difference. Accept how you feel, but control your mind. Sometimes we're not going to feel like we want to do it. So just keep control of your mind, and just keep reminding yourself that it's just mind over matter. Move more. So if you can, go for a walk, get out into the fresh air, join some fitness groups or PTs and stuff that are going to keep you motivated and know your goals and keep on top of you, push you forward. The more you move, the more you'll feel better. It's very, like, as we know, it's great for the mind moving more and being around positive people. So do as much as you can with that. Listen to music, like I said earlier, like try and surround yourself with stuff that makes you happy, because all the time that we've got all the stresses of the world and our jobs and schools and kids and all the rest of it, it enables us to feel all of this kind of anxiety and stress, and it almost makes us overwhelmed with it all. So just kind of do things that make you happy. And when you're in that stressful moment, I completely get it, you're in it, and you kind of go, it's all right for you because you've got a bit of time to think about it. Try to park it if you can. You're going to have stresses on certain things, but just park it when you can. Go back to kind of your happy place or things that make you happy. It'll enable you to calm things down, and then you can revisit them and get back into the hustle and bustle of work or things like that. And the last thing that I'd leave you with is the most important thing that I say to all of my clients and kind of anyone really, is plan ahead as much as you possibly can. So if you're looking to change your healthy lifestyle from a food point of view, plan out your week for what you're going to eat. What's your snacks going to look like? What's your breakfast going to be? Are you going to drink all the water enough? Are you going to work out? If you're going to work out, are you going to be eating on top of that? If you've had, if you have things in the diary and you're going to see friends and family and stuff, plan that out so you're not overwhelmed and then you start to stress out about things happening, or just planning really does help. Nothing ever always goes to plan anyway, but having a plan just enables you to almost alleviate it out of your brain, put it on a bit of paper, and then you're able to kind of look at it and kind of go, right, oh, that's what I'm doing. That's what we got for tea tonight. You do the food shopping based on what you plan, so you don't have to overspend. There's things like that that really help with planning ahead as well. And one of the things that I would mention is journaling is so good for getting stuff out of your brain as well. So a lot of people don't journal and they don't really understand the benefits, but it's brilliant to enable you to almost get everything out of your brain and just put it down on paper. They say obviously like a problem shared is a problem halved. When you write it down, it allows the brain to release it out of the head. Even though you still got to do it, or it's things that you feel, or it's things that you're frustrated with, you're then able to kind of get it out your brain, get it onto paper, and then you've got more space in your brain to take on more things and new things instead of it all just building up and becoming overwhelming. So hopefully that's helped. I've kind of whizzed through it really quickly because it's the second time that I've done it. But hopefully you found it useful. There's some good content in there that you're able to take value from. And I will see you next Wednesday at 4:00 to go through some more kind of mindset techniques and how to kind of wellness of the mind and holistic change throughout your lifestyle and your life and your mindset. So yeah, have a lovely week, and hopefully it brings value, and I'd love to get your feedback on what you thought, or if there's anything extra that you want me to add in for the future kind of sessions. But yeah, have a lovely evening, and I'll catch up with you soon.